Is this the
Because we're
most?
screaming
It's cute,
4K,
bro.
duh. We're screaming
my-
4.5.
This is the most main
What do you
character thing I've
expect?
ever said. Yeah, dude. I don't wanna freaking hear. I don't even want to know what you guys advertise for SR. I don't care. I don't want to know. All I want to know is this going to be Masters or Grandmaster in the title?
Face it League Advanced.
That's the biggest cop out. So I assume that's Masters, right?
Well,
I don't know. Well, it's GM usually, no?
I'm the GM.
You know what? Tell you what. Tell you what. Do you know the SR of the people that you're playing? Like the people that you guys scrimmage?
We're high
They're usually GM.
masters. We're not GM.
Okay. I'm giving you guys Masters, overperforming main character Masters players, but I repeat myself. Okay. I mean, you guys know the routine. I'll have it recorded. I'll have it sent to you. Yada, yada, yada. What got you guys interested in coaching? We want to do better and perform better at the team environment. All right. That's awesome. Let's introduce each other. Eridu, I know you. Loof, I know you. Ryu, I know you. Icing, I don't know two of you guys. Hello.
Hi.
What is your role within the team?
I play tank.
Okay.
And I do a lot of cooling as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice to meet you. Do you have a preferred set of roles or heroes? No, sorry, not roles, heroes.
Yeah, I like Doom a lot. I'm currently picking up Diva a bit, which has been pretty fun. I'm okay on Monkey.
Lovely.
And I'm pretty good on Malga too.
Okay, sounds good. And then I'm not going to even try to pronounce that. Eoposanama. Okay.
It's backwards.
Oh, Amanda Sophie. Amanda Sophie. Okay,
Amanda,
all right.
That's fine.
Hello, Amanda.
I'm.
She didn't tell me that yet, by the way.
I did. No, I definitely have.
You're not
didn't know
important
that
enough, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
You couldn't figure it out.
No, motherfucker, I couldn't. It's not obvious.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I main support. I ult track. I prefer like Lucio Brig. I play a bit of Kiri.
Righto.
Bap.
Okay.
A couple others, I guess, but not really.
Okay, sounds good. All right, I kind of got a decent read of everybody here then. So sadly, I know the other three.
Yeah. Okay.
In terms of goals, Eridu initially reached out and said you guys just are doing well in Face It League and want to keep that ball rolling. I assume that's basically what we're here for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. What got you guys together as a team, and how long have you guys been together?
You did. Technically.
Okay.
Yeah, it was me.
Eridu knew Loof, Rhea, and then I know Eridu from university, and
Sorry to
he
hear
also
that.
invited me to make a team, and then we put an LFT out for tanks and got icing.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's about it.
All right. Works for me. And goals, like reasonable expectations. I mean, when's your next match coming up? Wednesday. Okay. And then if you lose this match, is it like the season done? Like I don't know literally anything about Face It.
It's
So like
it'll be the first match of Face It League season.
okay.
Yeah.
So we got some time then. Like you'll have some time to train. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah. I think typical disclaimer, and I think at least three of you guys kind of can expect that, but I think the same thing applies to team as it does to individual improvement. And so I've generally actively avoided coaching teams at the last second because I don't think that there should be any sort of expectation that, oh, I'm here, I will fix all of your problems, and now you guys will win, because that's just not how it works with any team that I've ever worked with. Unless there's like some sort of like meta flash that's kind of coincides with some stuff. But obviously, if you guys have been together for some time and are planning to work together some time, we can definitely give you some things to work on and maybe address some structural stuff. So I guess we could start with this because we don't really have a form to work with here. Let's just go down the list, starting with Amanda. If you were to prioritize any one thing that you think this team could improve on, whether it's hero play, communication, coordination, scrimmage culture, how often you scrimmage, and so on, what comes to mind? And kind of keep in mind that this should be like in line with your goals. Like you guys aren't an Overwatch League team. So within that framework, what do you think is a reasonable expectation? What do you think needs to be focused on next?
I think mainly our coordination when we're in scrims, because we're doing a bit better taking angles and stuff, but a lot of the time we still also just completely mess it up.
Okay. Okay. Can you give me an example, like name names here, respectfully, or heroes or maps or comps?
I mean, it's generally like also me specific, so like whether I need to be with Sojourn on the angle in like a Queen comp, or the Genji or the Tracer in like a Doom comp, or
Sure.
etc.
Sure. So even just like kind of how we're splitting up your supports and how you're moving your DPS around the map.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Erdu?
Oh God.
Everyone's looking at you.
Anything... I think it's all the same stuff. I feel like in terms of in scrims, stuff we can improve on is generally taking the right angles at the right times.
Mm-hmm.
Not really sure what other stuff I can think of.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's the key thing. Yeah, it's totally fine. I mean, I think the key thing is just like, finding some sort of cohesion through map control. I think those are like the perfect, like, it's not necessarily that you can't do both, but having the ability to do both is very difficult, right? And it's something you only see in really, really high level dive teams. And so that is a good end goal to achieve. Icing?
Hello.
Hi.
I think I need to focus on just like coming more, planning more. Like I do feel like a lot of the time we'll go like multiple fights without like doing a real fight plan, that kind of thing.
Right.
And I want to work on that.
Okay. This is going to be a bit out of left field here. Do you know the surrounding circumstances that lead towards that? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like in other words, is that like that probably
yeah, I mean,
is
it'll
just a
usually
pattern?
be when I'm on like a more mechanical, like if I'm playing Doom or something, and I'm thinking, okay, I want to like get somewhere, and I want to like get my charge punch built, and then my main support's alt tracking, and then I kind of zone out for a bit, or trying to get my own stuff done, and then I realize I haven't like told everyone like what I actually want to do this fight.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense, and that's kind of something that's the root cause potentially here. So we'll kind of take a look at that. Let's keep going here. Next, Loof. I really can't even bring myself to say your name, but here we are.
No, it's mostly what the others have said, with the communication and stuff. And
sure.
I think myself, I just need to. I'm the least experienced here when it comes to scrimming. I'd never scrimmed before this.
Okay, that's fine.
And I myself need to work on, I'd say, calls mostly, and I think the team in general needs to work on like target priorities and stuff.
Like devolve fight stuff.
Yeah, in a messy fight, if I anti somebody screaming out. For example, in those kind of situations.
Okay.
But other than that, and my positioning at times.
Sure. To kind of go back before we move on entirely from like the planning side of things, is the planning ignorance? Is it consistency? Is it a little bit of both? Like, do you guys
consistency now?
So you guys always feel like you always know what to do. It's just not always good at doing it.
Yeah, I feel like if we go into replays, we can sometimes kind of figure it out, but then we're just not doing it in the moment at the right times always,
Yeah. We kind of like there's a buffer of how do we actually put this into effect, and then when we've got like 5 minutes to look at it after scrim, we can figure it out, but just not in the 10 seconds you've actually got.
Okay, that makes sense. That might be something we can look into as well. And I would always say that, like, keep in mind that ignorance will slow down that process of planning. And so if that process of planning is slowed down significantly, that might mean that it is an ignorance problem, because you might actively avoid planning for uncomfortable situations. And that's basically ignorance with extra steps. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Right.
So we can obviously look at that. But like, I think that at the very least, you guys are probably more well equipped than the average team in that regard. Okay, Ria, what would you think?
I played on a team last season in Faceit Season 4. And one thing we had a guy on our team who was like a super big Commander X fan, like watched the stream, tier 3, everything. And he was like super well knowledged on just team compositions and how they work together, and just like the fight planning around team comps and matchups in that sense.
Yeah.
But so just like the macro, but like to a deeper degree than what your normal ranked player would probably understand.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was very comfortable having that on my team, where we had the guy who like he knew, okay, our comp is really good at this, their comp is good at this, we can win by doing this, they're looking to do this to win against our comp. Just understanding of what each part of the composition does. It's like I feel like we're missing that at times.
Yeah. Okay.
That's both individual and on probably a bit individual on everyone's understanding, but also some of that could be like mutual between everyone when we're talking about what our comp's gonna do.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Any other questions or any other priorities, any other goals here? Are we just kind of looking at codes and talking through stuff, or anything else?
I think. I mean, I kind of want to just get into it now, or does anyone else have anything?
No.
Are you guys happy with the way that you guys train, like the frequency, the quality of how you guys train?
I should scrim a little more often, but when we do scrim, it feels pretty good usually.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think we looking at replays like as an actual, everyone together enough, maybe. But
Sure.
yeah,
I joined
think...
for a little bit last time, but yeah, I could probably be there more. I'd agree.
Yeah.
I mean, people have to go anyway after scrims usually anyway.
Sure. I think the most important thing you can possibly do as a team is to find the consistency between what you want to do and are you actually doing those things. So like when I did the whole like NACAD thing in Minnesota with a collegiate esports, and there's like some high school principals there with like literally like their highest ranked player was like gold 3. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm sitting up there talking about like all these advanced concepts, but the reality is that like you gotta have to match your goals to what you guys are able to do. So what you guys need to do is, when you talk about like we should probably look at replays more, but then why aren't we? Like, is it a time constraint? Are we just not that serious about the game? Is it too much of a chore? Is it too boring? Does it take too long? Do we not feel like there's enough reward for it? Like, you just have to kind of be as self-aware and honest with yourself as a unit as possible. So just sure, I think these can always be motivating, but don't necessarily think it's like, oh, you have to do this and do it this way. It's like, well, maybe you don't, maybe you shouldn't. So just keep that in mind. Okay, let's look at replay here. So now, what are we looking at today?
The Colosseum game from yesterday. No.
Okay. That sounds like a war crime, the way that you're saying it.
Yes, that game was kind of a war crime.
Okay.
Can you see? You can't see replays.
No, I mean I can give you it, but I think we could just send.
Yeah. Just
ENV.
Wait, what? Are you reading it out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
TNV.
TNV.
JJ8.
What was the last 3 letters one?
JJ8.
JJ8. Okay, thank you. Sorry, my British ears are out of practice.
You've got 3 of them in here. Don't worry.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to do a quick test here because it's custom games and replay viewer bug. So we're gonna have to find out if it works. I've already submitted the bug report, but custom games are not absolved from the replay viewer bug, which is grand. So it depends on the replay, but this one seems to be okay. Of course, fingers crossed. Yeah, I think we're good then. Okay, nice. Okay, so what was especially war crimey about this particular segment here? Like, what about this makes it so obnoxiously agonizing? Why this one?
We struggled really hard into the enemy team. Past like the 8-minute mark.
Okay.
7-minute mark, we started struggling hard.
Struggled at different points individually as well.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like I've played really bad. Like,
Okay.
Queen.
I can mention that we have been playing the Doom comp on Colosseum as like a default, as it does kind of catch the enemy off guard at times where they don't expect the Doom, which I do think has like had an impact to how this map has gone previously. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, maybe
I don't know
got
why
you
I
guys in a
feel like it's a
snowball.
Doom map, but it kind of is. I don't know why.
I think if I can be honest, like I think Doomfist is there are no bad Doomfist maps, right? Like there are mediocre Doomfist maps, but I think he is the most flexible tank in the entire game.
I feel like
you'd
struggle on circuit maybe,
but he's the best dive tank on circuit. That's the thing. So like it's like even on circuit, like I would rather play him than most of the other dive tanks. But I agree. So maybe your successes on this map have been kind of more snowbally because you catch people off by surprise. But honestly, that's fine. Now before we jump in here, when it comes to SR, what rank are these guys approximately? Do you guys know? Like actually, not like what they advertise, but like what are they actually?
So same as us. I mean, they should be a bit higher.
They're higher,
average.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely higher.
They're around M1, M2 range.
Yeah, makes
our
sense.
Team is like
Nizzy,
M3
Coin
average.
should all be like have hit GM.
Yeah, okay.
Masters, fighters, probably
Fighter
GM5.
he hit M1 GM5.
So you have to
basically
compensate with
reaching
execution.
Grandmasters.
You have to compensate with execution, whether that's the space that you're controlling, the ultimates that you're using, the planning, the whatever, the shot calling, the mid-fight target party, like basically everything. Like this is just the way it has to be. If you don't have mechanics, you have to compensate in other aspects.
We have mechanics. What do you mean?
When I say mechanics, I mean your ability to play the characters, right? Otherwise, you would be GM5, you know, say or GM4 or whatever else. Like these guys are going to be better pound for pound on average, so you have to compensate by being the better team. So from a framework of structure, like again, I'm going to make some expectations here. I assume that you guys kind of already know how to play this composition in terms of basic setups. Like you can have Kiri Lucius depending on the angle that you're playing on different splits. Like for example, here, I would much rather, well, who should be with Tracer here?
Me.
No, I disagree.
Really?
I do. I strongly disagree. And the reason is not because that it's Tracer. You need to look at it from an architecture standpoint, not a hero standpoint. So when I see more open space on this side of the map, this means I prefer Kiriko on this angle instead. Now, does that mean that she's playing over here? No, but I'd probably had to have Kiriko kind of hold the angle here and assist with Tracer here. And this feels a little bit more comfortable for Lucio. You kind of see what I'm saying? Yeah, so like don't limit yourself to Lucio +1's Tracer or Kiriko goes with Freya. No. It's meaningless. It's you depending on the angle that you're looking for is the depending on what support goes where with which DPS. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the first thing that we want to see here. And then obviously once we decide on that, then we can kind of fill in all the pieces here. So for example, this looks okay from setup, but I think Lucio going this deep is just uncomfortable because if this Tracer breaks your ankles, you've immediately created a resource disadvantage for your core. Do you see this?
Yeah.
And because you're not Kiriko, you can't stand here and still have impact over here. So you truly are, for lack of a better term, out of position in that regard. So what this means is that if they push or they were to rotate through main, you wouldn't be unable to stop that. You wouldn't be unable to support your Doomfist as easily, and now crucially, your Freya is isolated as well. And you guys kind of see how uncomfortable this feels. Like you're going to naturally migrate towards something that makes more sense because this is exactly what makes more sense. Do you see the setup now?
Yep.
Lucio on main, Freya on the longer sightline on main, Kiriko Tracer wider angle, Doomfist looking for an angle around the right side. And that's kind of what we're looking for. So from a setup standpoint, this is what you guys need to look for. Control the angle that feels comfortable with your character. Don't force it. Make sense?
Yeah. Is there a way I can take that in? How can I take that into account as the Tracer when I'm asking for someone to +1 me? Like whether I ask Amanda or Luf?
You don't ask for anybody specific. You ask for help and you see who's there to give it. Let them make that decision.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. As much as possibly, let people make their own decisions, but you can let people know that you prefer support. That's all.
Okay.
This is fine. We get the pick. This is a fine trade. Now Eridu's in a position to where if Eridu plays it correctly, Eridu can at least die slowly. Like, if we look at this from like, okay, Eridu, you are on an island here, even with help from Lucio, right? So you kind of need to be really cautious. So obviously, like, the updraft there was kind of atrocious. Because in this situation here, if you're able to utilize your updrafts, utilize your dodges, I'm kind of expecting you to die either way. That's okay, but you needed to die slower.
I respected Tracer too much, I think. Like, I started walking straight into the enemy team when I see Tracer.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was like maybe that's the reasoning for the updraft here.
Yeah.
But this is obviously like you need to live as long as you possibly can, and then obviously being willing to take. Because you still have a resource advantage here, like because you were died second, so we had more people alive for longer. So all things considered, this could have been a lot worse. So okay. But that's the form of our setup, regardless of what we're playing into, regardless of what map. Our Freya Tracer on different angles, and the supports, you guys just choose which angle feels more comfortable for you. That's it. That's fine.
Anything changes?
I don't think it matters all that much. I think this is a pretty decent Freya map, but if you feel more comfortable with Sojourn, I think it's fine. Okay. So what do you guys think of our setup here?
Bad.
Yeah, it's just bad, right? Like one of our supports has to push cart, but it doesn't make sense for both here. So
yeah,
in this,
I think.
Yeah, go
ahead. Sorry, we just I think we called out that I should go cart and Amanda should go up. I remember
Yeah,
that.
I think I
A little
called that.
mini
I
argument there, I
was on
think.
call and initially, and then Lou said, no, I'm on, you go, and then yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it was-
and,
yeah,
and,
bit
and, and this is a conversation that that needs to be decided like right now, right? So like already,
Yeah.
because if you think about it, so Amanda, where would you play here if you were not on cart?
Probably with Tracer. And,
You could.
She appears to be in like a room or something.
Right. So this is like,
Yeah.
let's be honest, like this is you smoking a little bit of crack, right? So like I don't necessarily agree with this decision.
Yeah, maybe not quite there, but
But
yeah.
it's at least consistent. Like what we want is consistency of thought. If you guys interpret something different, you think this is good, then I'm not going to disagree with you. It's consistent, but there has to be a thought. The more consistent pro thing would probably be to have Doomfist lurking underneath here, and probably Lucio playing a ball game here, right? Like more conservatively marking this space here, even if there's nobody on your DPS side there. That's fine.
I can say that I did call for Luf to go Kate because I wanted to rotate off and set up in the position where I am right now.
Sure, that's fine. I don't like the deeper flanks as early as often as much as this, even with the Doom. I probably would prefer you to play underneath the bridge and soft angle in front of your Kiriko here and just off angle here. Just because when in doubt, taking a deeper flank versus a backline that looks like this is just almost never the play. Just because it is really truly all or nothing and you're unsupportable. It's more about sustained pressure. So,
Okay.
but again, I'm nitpicking here, right? Like these are good principles for you guys to consider with both Lucio and Tracer positioning, and to be honest, Doomfist positioning as well. But the key problem is that we have one person who is literally doing nothing right now, and that's the supports. So one of these supports has to take space. If that's Kiriko, ironically or coincidentally, it's probably the same angle as we were looking for Lucio, if we're talking about the more conservative angle. The timing of things feels okay, like our Sojourn's trying to poke, our Tracer's trading Queen, Doomfist goes in. This, to be honest with you, is just ranked play versus a non-ranked environment. And it's really easy to blame Doom here, because it's like, that's like just really dumb without Empowered Punch, even with Empowered Punch, honestly. Okay, so you did have it, yeah, even with Empowered Punch, doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because this is too far, right? This is too soon. There's too many
definitely.
resources. There's too much communication. But I want to point something out here, that it's not just you that's made this mistake. It's also your Tracer, because you guys are both positioning in a high risk, high reward manner. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about compositional strategies, it doesn't make sense to do this immediately, to high roll immediately. And if you were to high roll immediately, then how should your support be positioned? Well, we talked about it, right? Lucio needs to be with your Tracer on the flank, right? And probably Eridu needs to be willing to slide up at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what you guys can start to communicate is, like, do we want to patiently control angles and play cycles over and over, or do we want to int? Do we want to int? Because this is an int from 2 people, but not 5.
Okay.
I don't agree with the plan, but we could have potentially created some sort of chaos, rolled the dice, made it work. And even in certain ult situations, that's appropriate, right? Like if we had Doom ult there and they had 4 ults, then that's probably a good plan there. Try to force something out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so proper spacing with our supports based off of what feels comfortable on the architecture, number 1. And then number 2, if we are going to position aggressively and behave aggressively, it needs to be consistent as a team. Okay. As always, just let me know if you guys have any questions here. So from an architecture standpoint here, oh dear, this is really messy. Okay. So this is kind of another one of the situations, right? So from this position here, this is, to be honest with you, this is just dumb, right? So we can kind of skip that. So we're going to pretend our Doom didn't feed here. And then instead, we're going to look at it from, if we had the time to set this up, how would we position? I want you guys to quickly, I'm going to give you 5 seconds each. Eridu, where would you position?
Oh, here on the right?
Yep.
On the mini?
Okay, so here.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Amanda, where would you go?
No.
Depends what my Tracer's doing. But
Sure.
on the left or
Sure.
on the the far right. So
like here?
down by like the mega or something.
Like
or
like
around
here.
the-
Okay. Okay. Or what was the other option you said?
Or like around the right, so like
Sure.
the flank.
Sure. Something like this. Okay. Rio?
I would be ideally I'd be playing around like the right door under the high ground, I think.
Sure. So a lot of emphasis on the right just because of the wrapping from the right. What about you, Icing?
Yeah.
I'd probably want like Soj Kiri on the mini, and then like Tracer Lou playing around the bus, probably.
Okay.
Or maybe just swap those.
What about you
honestly,
though? What about you
and then I'd
specifically?
probably play like about where I'd probably play like pretty like in like sort of like the ice cream shop thing.
Yeah.
That's sort of the way there.
Somewhere around here. Yeah. Okay. Loof.
On the mini, on the high, or maybe staircase left side.
Yep. Yeah, and I think this is probably one of the better options just because of how open this space is. And you can let your Lucio Soj control the space here. You can let your Doom Tracer play patty cake, and you can kind of control the long angle here and just apply pressure wherever you're needed, right? So that's fine. Okay. I really think it's important that you guys are allowing yourselves to kind of make those decisions about who goes where individually, but that you're doing so cohesively and doing so quickly. Like right now, for example, like I want a lot more aggression from Amanda from the space that we're controlling. There it comes. Good stuff. I mean, that's just a little bit of an overextension, but it's only an overextension because of it's the classic ranked environment. We got a pick, we got another pick, let's walk forward. But the reality is that this is a 2v2, and I don't think you realize that. You see what I'm saying? Because this is what we're dealing with right now. We have to push the robot. We can't push forward that aggressively. So just a good reminder that when you guys are chasing snowballs to not overextend and to just kind of keep them hemorrhaging slowly, but you don't have to force it immediately. Because it really sucks to get that much of an advantage and then potentially lose all of that momentum just because you guys overextended a little bit. So it's fine. You guys did get a late trade, so this is still winnable. This is just a mechanical misplay. But I also want to highlight this as well. With Queen here, how should we be rotating? What's the positional problem here?
Could we?
Should
I think I should be up a mini.
I just don't see why we should be here, right? Like, I think Tracer, Sojourn, but, like, yeah, exactly. I don't think you should be there. Or certainly at least managing your range a little bit better. You don't need to be here. I think it caught you off guard for sure, so it's a little bit unfortunate, but a lot of unforced errors here just because we were just a little bit sloppily positioned. I think Icing, you started that one off. Amanda followed up, and then Loof finishing below. Unforced errors are sadly not really VOD reviewable. Just don't overextend. Play around your team's timing. Don't position point blank range.
A lot, to be honest, with the Queen in main.
Okay.
And we're not really responding to it very well.
So talk to me through it.
I just kind of... So I remember a couple of times I feel like I just was alone fighting Queen main for some reason, like not really, I don't know, trying to pressure Queen for nothing, and Queen just presses W on me and I die.
It's just range management,
and
right?
Everyone else is everywhere else,
It's just range management. Like when you're in those situations, it's like, okay, like I've got a Queen within 50 meters. I can't possibly win this resource trade. So just like I'll take your attention, but do so at like the lowest possible risk. Okay. Again, I'm just going to grade our setup regardless of plan here. And then we can talk about that plan. So like you could kind of see it here right now. So maybe you guys can remember the plan. So let's actually flip the script here. Let's start with the plan if you guys can remember what was called in this moment. Do you guys remember?
Didn't we have it recorded?
I think I called I have kids, so
we can go look at the call
kids, so.
If you want.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, at the very least, I can pull it up on the side and kind of have it play at the same time.
Let's see if we can.
It's in replays.
Was it recorded or? This map. Let's see. Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, the other one. Yeah, it's the last one, which wasn't.
Is this okay? Thank you.
That's
yeah. Okay, I got this. Okay, let's. Okay, I found the map. I found it. I found it. Give me a second to listen. So we are at 6:53. Let's listen here.
You go wave. My wave.
One. Yeah.
They have Noon, probably Pulse, definitely Queen out. The.
We have kit this way. We kit into.
Yeah. I'll kit from top. I'll kit from top down card. Kit from top down card as well. I'll try.
3, 2,
going.
1.
Okay, actually, very well communicated. I don't think there's a lot of layers to the plan, which is kind of unfortunate. But for what my expectations are for a team like you guys, with all due respect, it's fine. You guys ult tracked. You guys knew the threats that were there. Luv calls the ult that he wants to use, and then also calls the timing of it very well. And everyone seems to kind of be in the loop. The execution is just horrible, just terrible. So like you guys really set yourself up for success, and then just fumble the bag. So if we were to micromanage our setups here, what's wrong with the setup?
We're kind of bunched up on
yeah. You were just bunched up, right? So like the Kitsune from height to main is nice. Doom gets value out of it, But Erdo, you're not set up for this Sojolt at all. If you wanted this, then you should be walking here and controlling this angle here. And honestly, like even Rio, like if Rio, we wanted to time this better. I mean, I think this is, you know, actually this is okay. Like I think forcing a Tracer duel at the same time. So it's like, it's just, Erdo, you need to be better positioned. And then Amanda, I don't know what you're playing for here either. Right?
Yeah, I'm just
how long did I linger on bridge? Did I just... I'm trying to think.
You're here for a bit.
I think you slowed down in main. So.
Yeah, no, I am there, but yeah, I did.
You're here for a bit. You're here for a bit, right? So it's like I think what you and Amanda kind of make the same mistake where it's like you're hesitant to take too much space because obviously they have like the kitchen sink, right? But that doesn't mean that you can't take any space. You need to take what's the most space that I can take without risking my life versus what they have.
What can you get away with?
Right, exactly. And the same, to be honest with you, I would probably have all three of you guys here at this point in time, or at least having Amanda playing here instead for just better vision, better sightline, right? So it's like, again, it's just these small details, like a little bit more space, a little bit more vision, because if you're here or here, there is nothing that they can really throw at you that's going to catch you off guard and kill you. You kind of see what I'm saying? Like there's nothing that they can really do to punish you. So you need to fill that space. If you don't fill that space, then there's a risk that what happens here is going to happen where, do you see how easy of a position they've put it in to kite it out?
Yep.
There's not enough pressure from my Lucio from the side to open space here. There's not near enough pressure. I mean, look at that. Look at how easily this Sojourner would murder people from this position here. But at the same time, like I'm being negative Nancy here. This was communicated well. The ult track was good from Amanda. The plan was good from Louvre. And I think this was like actually a team call, like the timing, like 3, 2, 1, good. And honestly, some of the finer details are good too. Like I think Rhea forcing the Tracer duel, clearing the Tracer out. This is really good as well. This means that in this push here, this Tracer's not really in the best position to kind of cut, right? To force that flank. Yeah, I mean, this is like, there's aspects of this that are good. There's other aspects that are bad. We'll focus on the things that we can do better. But also, I think this was well communicated.
Just a bit, like, a quick, like, slightly personal question. One thing I just find I struggle with in, like, these comps, I feel like I fixate way too much on the Tracer at times.
I think that may or may not be the case here, but I don't think that's the, in general, sorry, but that's not the case here, because there isn't any other angle for you to take.
No, for sure. I'm just curious as to like what are some signs for like when is it like kind of safe to ignore the Tracer?
Focus only on the positions. If this is the best angle that you can take on the retake, then you need to force it. Don't go out of your way to make yourself uncomfortable and do something weird like this just to avoid the Tracer. Like again, if this is how high level Tracer works, right? It just every Tracer forces Tracer. They fight more Tracer than they do basically anything else. You're not out of the ordinary necessarily.
Okay.
Just look at what the map gives you and take it. I think the only thing I would say here is you probably could have gone a little bit more aggressively. Right. Well, first off, maybe you could have been here half a second earlier. But like you had a bit of an advantage here, and I'm surprised that you didn't push that a little bit better before they popped their Kitsune. You see that? Just a little bit. Just to push it a little bit. Like get that recall out. You caught her by surprise right here. And so you have an advantage in this duel. Or should have, and yet you don't commit a blink. You don't even go in the room. Like look at the HP diff here, right? Like that is absolutely something you should be leveraging. Because if you get recall...
I think it's slightly what you said at the start, where like the guy is better than me, so I'm a bit scared.
Yeah. But
you got always like
sure, and that's fine. But you have to take the advantages when you have them. Otherwise, you're gonna
100%.
Right? So, but yeah, beyond that, I think this is okay. The plan itself is okay. Then obviously, we guys are in a good position to disengage the beat, or should be. I like Amanda going down there and to assist. And then from here, to be honest with you guys, you just need this is the most challenging part of fight planning, is this moment right here. Because what should happen right here?
Yeah. Someone goes point. I don't know.
Yeah, relax. Take some space. Let's chill, get ready for a response, but we don't need to panic. You guys have done fine. The Sojourner was horribly set up. We didn't take any space with the Lucio. It wasn't perfectly timed. But you guys did a good enough job to trade evenly with ults. In fact, actually gave yourself a little bit of an advantage. You're in a fine position to win this fight now. So let's take a second. Let's get cart. Let's take some space, reestablish. We're not really in a position to keep going here. And this is where people start to kind of fall apart. So this is just a mechanical error, right? but also from like a communicational standpoint. If I pull up the VOD here, let me listen for a second.
No suicide.
Trader bottom right.
Use B. No TP. No TP.
Keep this one.
There's not a lot of leadership in the communication after that beat is used.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of like kind of target calls, but obviously nothing's dying. So what's the next step? You know, what's the next step? Do we want to beat engage? Do we want to play slow, pull cart? Do we want to? You kind of get what I'm saying. Like there needs to be a little bit more leadership from there.
Next after
What's next? What's next? So you don't have to pre-plan the layering, but if not, then you probably need to call it mid-fight. And I think this is where things kind of die out. And I'm gonna put responsibility on you, Amanda, right here. Because that's your ult. Like you're obviously the linchpin here. You kind of get what I'm saying. So like you're the reason that we need to have a plan here because you're the one that we're waiting on here. Now you could say, "Care, I'm helping Tracer win the duel here," but if that's the case, then obviously that changes how we plan.
I got jump scared.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I kited, and then like. Did I just not say anything? Because then everybody just gets.
No, I swear I got jump scared. I was like, oh, cool, nice, I killed him. Oh my god, that's it. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is something else. I actually don't mind the beat that much. I mean, it's a logical beat. So like, it's a logical beat. It's a consequence of like not really knowing what the next step is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. It's like then you put yourself in a bad spot. You guys got pincered. That's also like that's where really hurting your tracer is. Or losing your tracer is like really painful, right? Because that casting angle just wins them that fight, right? Like straight up, like nothing else, because it just lets their queen walk forward. So, and then Eridu gets jump scared on main again. Okay.
This is where it kind of staggers for like 10 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's take a quick second though and evaluate our initial setup. Like let's say regardless of plan, just like super vanilla. What do you guys think?
I don't like playing there. Because as soon as I peek or try and go forward, I'm pretty much in the open.
Right, so it's this transition here that's really uncomfortable, but on paper, this looks okay. What's your solution instead, then?
I prefer just playing on the mini, like next
like
to
here?
But sometimes it's a bit too close if like the enemy team set up there, or like Cass can just 3-tap me as he did a few times.
Can I be honest? Once you're with your tracer here and applying pressure from here, you are allowed to go where you want.
Okay.
So if you like, I think again, this whole +1 tracer concept is like, I think like, I mean, it's useful at times, but it's also like, if you can't help tracer beyond this space and you can't, then stop trying to. Rotate here and poke her out, and then go back and do a little tickle here, and then rotate here and do here and see what happens, and then maybe call for an amp rotation or wrap around here and just do something silly here off of pincer, off of main, and like, your job is to apply pressure, and it's often in tandem with the DPS, but it's more about the fact that this tracer can't feel comfortable pushing your tracer anymore as long as you're in this building.
Yeah.
And if that queen decides to rotate in towards you, well, it's just a bad resource trade for her. She may not kill you, you may not kill her, but it's just not, you're just too valuable and too dangerous in that small room. So you don't have to literally +1 your tracer at all times. You can read what the map allows you to do and decide from there, if that makes sense. And the same thing goes for Kiriko as well.
I feel like Freya would be better.
Yeah, it just means these rotations feel so much more comfortable, right? Yeah. You don't have that burst, but obviously like it feels really bad in terms of your vision right now. But then now it's like
where I swapped.
Now you're
continue.
I think it's because you got jumped. And then you're like, I needed that big burst, you know, and that you didn't have. Yeah. So and so this is kind of like what we're talking about, Amanda. So it's like you feel really uncomfortable here, but then you feel the need to go in. This is an int. I don't think it's a bad int, but it needs to be done so with the intention of not necessarily following up on the target, but oddly enough, getting to this wall, getting to here, getting to here, getting to a position where you can still follow up but apply pressure elsewhere. And the even worse problem is that my tracer doesn't have recall, and yet we're still inting on main. So if we're going to int, it has to be done cohesively, otherwise it's just not going to work.
Is that something to come?
Yeah, it is. And you know?
Oh.
We can. Because then at least if we get traded, it's done honestly instead of something that like a tracer without recall, yeah, it sucks, but we could still kill this guy. We could have absolutely killed this guy. And I think the only people that look like they're inting right now are Sojourn, Kiri, Doom right now.
It should be everyone, or
Yeah, it should be. I mean, to be honest with you, I say that, but Lucio's clearly inting as well. But like, I think Rhea, this is probably where if we have an int call, it's weird because like Rhea obviously uses recall because you almost blink off the map, which is sucky. But like, the key thing here is that you're allowed to break the system here if you see an opportunity, or if we call the opportunity.
Okay. I don't know if I would have kept going for the minute if there was a call to end. I probably would have pushed out, I believe.
Yep.
But that's no guarantee, of course.
Of course. That's fine.
Kiri slid.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, a lot of these fights, like, I'm looking... Oh, my gosh.
no.
I knew it.
No.
That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's
Why
okay.
on
Whoa.
Steam?
To be fair, we've been skipping around a lot without it happening.
That's
You know?
true.
That's
That's
kinda
true.
lucky.
That's true. That's true. But I will say, and I mean this with like all due respect, generally your setup there wasn't too shabby. Like I'm really pulling at hairs there, but like that's a situation where, not to make excuses, but your Sojourn had good angle, Kiriko had good angle, Tracer, Lucio were like on approximately the right spot. Hit your shots, you know, don't blink off the map. That's kind of like where the mechanics come in. So what I want to try to do today is like give you guys some guidance about strategy clearly, like, but I don't want to, if I find myself like splitting hairs like way too much or getting like way too deep in the weeds, I might just say you guys just skill diff. That's it. Go next. And that fight was like honestly pretty close. Like you guys didn't have maybe the most elaborate fight plan ever, but you did have something and you just died. So yeah. Okay. Go next. The other fights though, there's more to pull from that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I mean, I hate to say it, but like, yeah. Okay. Loof dead. Kiri dead. They've gotten spawn. We're gonna walk forward. We're gonna push. Clear Tracer. Planning here should be what?
Same thing.
Same thing, yeah. Kiriko probably from high ground, from top ropes. See what we do from there. We're expecting again another ult dump here. I notice a lot of what you're doing, Amanda, is you put out fires sometimes. This was the exception, right? You were very deliberate about dealing with that, and so that was really good. But this situation here, as I gamble by going backwards, this is very much, again, a situation where it feels like maybe you're looking for scouting, but there's a hesitancy to do anything, at least to take any sort of space. This, you need to be confidently here. You need to be confidently here. Or you even need to be confidently here and then go, okay, maybe this isn't playing because they have Kiriko beat, you know, whatever.
I will say sometimes when I ult track, I just completely go AFK for like a few seconds after. Like,
Well, let's find out.
Really,
That's
like,
actually a great little point there. Give me just a moment to look at listen to the timestamp. That's actually a really good point there. So let's find out.
Going back on.
Fight it for main. I'm gonna fight it for main.
That's one.
Fine.
Oh, hang on one second.
Catch dropped. Catch dropped.
Main.
That's one. I have kids there. I'm gonna peek wide.
Yeah, one second. I'm just gonna have a tiny bar. I'll be right back. I'll focus better on you. You can just. We can keep in face. We'll get.
Yeah. It's basically like there isn't a huge lot of planning. Luffy call you have Kitso, but you're not as quite as decisive as you were in the previous one because you guys are losing, so it's frustrating. And so there's kind of like Eridu calls that he's going to swing wide, which I actually is probably the most useful call that was made, to be honest with you, because that is an action call, which is what you guys desperately need right now. And then Rhea, craps.
1v5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's fine though, but like if you have slide and supported and like we're actually going to ult this, it's okay. Like I don't think it's necessarily a good plan, but it is a plan and that's fine. And then Rhea's crapping his pants on the flank here, and then Lucio comes over, Amanda comes over, we're putting out fires. I think the reason that we do this is because we have caught this Tracer once before doing this and killed her, at least. But obviously this is still not a fight plan. And we're once again in a situation where we're all inning on backline or all inning on sideline. Eridu maybe needed to hear that call more.
Yeah. No, I was
here
committing to my own plan without thinking about what everyone else is doing.
You need, this needs to be sliding out now. So this is a good general rule. I'm saying this is bad. This is bad unless they've committed way too many resources. It's not always bad, but it's usually bad. Okay. That being said, if it's done, you need to get out before the problems start. You kind of see what I'm saying? So like that is absolutely criminal that even happened here. And you should have died. You should have died. And crucially, I feel like us pushing Tracer is the thing that's filling in the absence of a plan. Like, we don't have any sort of direction.
The person that's being annoying.
So we just looked at Tracer, so we might as well. Like, you notice that we haven't popped a Kitsune Rush, right? You know, we haven't popped Sojourn Ult. We haven't done anything. And so the only thing that's saving us is that we were able to actually miraculously disengage.
I feel like this is what we were talking about earlier, where we do, when we do plan, it's well, but it's just like, sometimes we just don't do it, and then we kind of get lost.
Yeah, and this is
exactly what happened here.
And this is the first fight where it's really been a problem. Some of the other ones have been maybe not the best setup, maybe not the best plan, whatever. But there has been something. This one is the first time we're a little bit halfway through where things have kind of gone out the window. That's normal. That happens sometimes, but it doesn't have to mean that it's optimal or acceptable, right? So I think you guys are losing this, and I think that's getting frustrating. But you have to stick with the same system. You have to. And that's really going to be the difference maker here. Because if without any sort of vision, you know, the people perish. And that's kind of what's happening here, quite literally.
I do think that's the case of where, like I said, I tend to fixate a bit too much on the enemy Tracer. Because I don't really think I need to be looking to duel the Tracer at all. Because I feel like that position is too deep for me into their compare.
It's too deep, and it's not the first time that we've seen that from you either. Right? Like, you have been very deep frequently. So I don't necessarily have a problem with you controlling this angle here. But as soon as I see this, I'm out. Like, not like physically out, like all the way out. You know what I'm saying? Like, controlling the wall here to where I can get healed, but you don't even blink there. You blinked once and then stood there. No, all the way out. That's a 2v1. You know, Kev's principle, right? Like, respect this, get healing, and then kind of control the space here. So this is... It's not so much that, like, I'm focusing the Tracer too much, so much that you forced a deeper angle and then responded poorly with your cooldowns when it became a 2v1. And that demanded your entire team to kind of get you out of jail, essentially. I don't hate you being here anywhere on my screen. I don't know if I like this, and I certainly don't like you forcing this position even after you've been cleared with Lucio Tracer. Maybe it was just a little bit of a brain freeze. Maybe there's some of the panic. Maybe this is some of the respect of the three divisions to where you just kind of freeze up. I don't really know. But this was...
100%. It's just a bad habit. Like, this is not the first time this has happened. Not even just scrims, but like, even in ranked, this happens.
Sure.
It's a fly my gameplay. I can say.
Yeah, sure.
Am I like over chasing Tracer? I feel like I am.
Yes and no. I mean, listening to the communication, it really sounded like Rhea was being shot. So I understand. Like, there's a lot of panic there and a lot of energy. And again, I want to point out that, like, let's not try to put out fires. Let's build a fire brigade. You know, like, let's build up our defenses. And I want to point out that the reason why we're putting out fires right now is because we didn't go into this fight with a plan at all. We had Kitsune, we had Sojourn, we did not have a plan. We could have played Kitsune from top ropes again. We could have double-pocketed Eridu on a deep angle with Sojourn ult. Either one of those would have been absolutely fine. We did neither. And that gives you a lot more vision about what you need to be doing as Doomfist. Does that make sense? Like, even here, like... Okay. Top ropes, we're fine. Noon, good. I mean, the difference between this is we just popped an ult, and we're kind of like halfway decently positioned. Let's look at my Kiriko. Good. Let's look at my Sojourn. Good. Let's look at my Lucio. Well, it doesn't matter if you're plus wanting somebody if you're actually doing something on a location that you actually get value from. So, good. Doomfist, good. Tracer, fine. This is fine. We have high ground. Doesn't matter if they have beat. We win. As long as we don't mechanically throw, which we didn't, we're good. Like, there's nothing even super deliberate about this. It's just us. We are in good positions around each other. This is ranked good positions, and we traded. Now, if we get traded here, I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's going to be mechanics and or target priority. So let's look at what happens here. Maybe we can delve deeper into the stuff here.
I get 3-tap by Cass.
Yeah, I don't like you being here, frankly. I just don't like this position that much. I like this a lot more. I like this a lot more, or and, you know, playing off of your Doomfist's timing. I don't love that position from you that much.
Yeah.
I don't love Rhea dying here. We miss Pulse, and then we get hindered. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to blame planning for this. This isn't some crazy complicated strategy. You started off the fight really well. You made some significant positional and mechanical mistakes. And that's it. It's not that deep. I don't mind us being greedy with, you know, our ult there, because like, you know, feels like we should be able to win that one. Yeah. We're trading evenly. Obviously, we're going to need to use our ult now. So this is just, I'm going to be honest with you guys, mechanics. That's it. Go next. Okay. What's the play here?
I mean, I probably have a good slam on like Kiri Cass here. If my Tracer follows quickly enough, you could probably get something off it.
Yeah.
Probably overtracked Queen out and we're saving beat for it. I think.
But that's not necessarily a huge problem because we have a really big, fat, easy solution to how we open this fight, staring at a screen, right?
Yeah.
Let's pop Sojourn ult, okay? So I think this is where like you guys kind of have to look at your communicational structure right now. So let me actually pull up the VOD and be like, are we missing the forest for the trees? Are we calling this stuff? So I'm gonna listen to this here really fast.
Good fight. We have OC in a sec.
We have OC in a sec. Play for Soj.
Right and right.
Everything except beat though.
Everything except beat though.
Oh, I've entered my babe.
Yeah, there's just nothing. There's nothing. We even call that we have OC, and then just Erdu just like dead silence. It's not good enough. So Erdu.
Yeah, I didn't think I don't know. I feel like from here, I find it difficult to find like angles.
Oh, I agree. I agree, but I don't care.
It's not really.
I don't care.
Anything from it.
I don't care.
No, I agree. Yeah,
you know, because so like frankly, like as Amanda said, it's a bad ult track. Straight up, it's just a bad ult track, right? Like we're all like Amanda calls, they have everything basically here, when they didn't, and but that doesn't matter. You can still force value out of the OC here and still be in a position to at least, like, we can even be in a position here where it's like, okay, we're probably gonna lose this fight, but like, let's make them pop 3 or 4, right? So where? Okay. How? Yeah. What do you need? We will give you everything. We'll give you everything. What do you need?
I genuinely, I mean, I don't like playing so close into Cass. I feel like I can't walk up onto bridge because that's just like suicide if I think they have.
Is it? Is it?
I feel like it is. No, if they have.
Yeah, but I mean,
I call
it a beat for Queen ult.
Yeah,
well, I guess I'm trying to get there else anyway. Right?
Yeah,
So
I want to be very clear. This is not an easy situation here. Like, this is really awkward. But I guess it's like you have to stop looking at things as like we have to win this fight with my OC. No, right. The best thing that we need to do is like we will maybe let you die. We will maybe let you die. We will give you everything and maybe you die, but maybe we'll get a trade, or maybe we'll get a favorable ult trade, or even just a chance of winning. Because the problem is if you don't do anything, that's worse than doing nothing, right? So if you went here, slid in with Lucio Pocket and maybe Suzu, this would be stupid, but at least there would be something, right? Can you pop it from here? Can you walk towards Tracer and pop OC from here? Maybe, like, and can I slide out here and then walk out this way? Is that even reasonable? Like, I don't know. Like, my point being is even popping, even popping OC from bridge and just being ready to quickly respond and then get Suzu is still worth it, right? Because if they try to disengage that, then you guys get free robot, and if they try to disengage it here, they're dead. So like that's kind of my point here. Is like there's no leadership from you here because you don't like your options. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like that's not a good enough reason. You have to do it.
Okay.
Because now you're popping it because you realize that, oh, my Doomfist is dead. We're going to lose this fight. But the damage has already been done. So now there really isn't any way to make this work, and you end up having to slide in anyway.
Oh.
Would you have preferred to do this off of your own terms or off of being forced to do so? You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so ultimately they disengaged the ultimate because it's not that you misplayed it terribly. It's the fact that there wasn't enough synchronized pressure because your team was dead before you prepped Q. So you press Q just to keep your Doomfist alive. Go ahead.
Oh, wait.
Earlier, I think this kind of comes a bit back to what we talked about after that one scrum with Kevin, where he called you to use
engaging with overclock.
Yeah, and even like it felt bad for you, but like to him,
the value
that would like pressure the enemy enough, and he could push them into an angle where
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
If you've watched OC in high levels, a lot of that is how it's done. It's same thing with Kitsune, because it's just such an incredibly low risk when you compare it to other ultimates in terms of openers.
Yeah.
You very rarely see OC killing multiple people.
It's just because in that situation, it's just like, you're right. It's just, it feels so.
It feels
like
terrible.
Good options, right?
You don't. You're just spending currency to get the wheel rolling. That's all you're doing.
I see. Okay.
So you're really in service to your teammates. Really, it's like you're not the main character here. Your Doom is probably the main character. Your Tracer's the main character, or whatever. You're forcing the situation, and so the rest of this fight again is just going to kind of come down to mechanics here. And so it's like when you guys miss those windows again, the reason it's so tragic is because we know that you're not going to win the devolved fights, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. You guys are fine, but these guys are just a little better. And so if you're not winning those fights, then there you go. Yeah, you go because you're like, hey, this slide isn't good enough. This isn't working. It's a classic DPS problem of like, this isn't working, so something has to work instead. Okay, here we go again. So I'm going to pull up the VOD, and I'm going to listen to Luv communicate the Kitsune rush. Let's listen.
They should have Doom Pulse Beat.
Doom Pulse Beat. Good track. Nothing. Nothing. Dead silence. Luv dies.
I think I was kind of annoyed at this point.
I mean, look.
This is the first map we started losing. Or?
No, this is the only map we got smoked on. We won the rest of one, and the flashpoint one was close.
Oh no, Busan we C9'd.
Yeah,
but we won.
But we overall won the map. No.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
So like,
we had more high grounds,
and it was hard. So I was just annoyed.
We were like, we should be winning this. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it was legitimately like 6 seconds of silence for the first time in the scrim.
Yeah.
So, I want to like show a little bit of compassion here because it is not fun to lose like this, right? But obviously, like there has to start somewhere, like to kind of pull yourself out from the bottom. And the most reverse sweepable map mode in the game, and all it really takes is a nice fight win here, and you guys have reset yourself back to neutral, and that that's such a big deal, and you guys have a perfect situation here. Pop Kitsune, make them disengage, see what happens. Like if we look at this from a setup point, like let's say that Luv communicates Kitsune rush, what do you guys think about setup right now?
It's alright.
It's alright, yeah. It's not bad.
Okay, but
it's alright.
Be up in window.
Yeah, Freya could maybe be up in window, but he is coming back from spawn, so it's fine. But I think like generally like Lucio can apply pressure from here. We've got Doomfist Kiri on main that will probably widen out and apply pressure here. Tracer maybe on a bit of a deeper flank, but I do think that there aren't really any good options here for Tracer. So this is one of those moments, Rio, where I think you're making the right call here because there isn't any other option to you available. Does that make sense? So yeah, this is okay. This is all right. It's not as crazy angle heavy, but that's just because of the nature of where we're fighting right now. And then obviously, like, I like the beat. Unironically like the beat because that's going to keep you alive. That's going to keep your Frey alive. And that's also going to keep your Doomfist alive long enough so that you guys actually have a recontest. So, great job on the recall there. Kitsune is a little late, but you guys are able to get it off cohesively. Amanda gets blown up. I don't know how you guys turn this. Eridu just toggles, or no, Eridu does not toggle.
I tried to toggle.
It's still bought. That's
still bought for a few seconds.
Yeah. All right, I think it's gonna be this, isn't it?
Ooh.
I knew it. That is like honestly, that is honestly criminal. I will say I'm not like a sycophant here, but like I will say a lot of your mechanical fight wins have been off of Doom punches, so I'm just going to point that out. So
on the pulse too. They're in the clip bank.
Spilo, you should have seen Face the qualifiers.
Crazy.
I had a day. I had a day.
All right. Now I will say this is one of those moments where I don't like our planning options here. Right, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys like, oh, just play on free roll. Trust me,
I completely end this fight. I'm not going to lie.
We kind of just have 2 pulse bombs.
You have 2 pulse bombs. You have an even worse version of pulse bomb. Like, so here's what I would think about. What I would think about.
Kill like pulse does.
So can I offer some advice? Okay, obviously.
Go ahead.
When you don't have a clear ult fight plan instead around the positioning So do you guys remember when Eridu said that I'm going to wide swing, right? It was not a very good plan because you guys had a better plan available. And then more importantly, Eridu didn't respond to the attention elsewhere and then almost ended up dying for it. Remember that? That being said, that should be your default when we don't know what to do. We plan around that. So right now, I need really going, I want to go deep on backline control, or I want to control this angle, or Eridu saying, I want to play like up in this high ground here. And then you guys play to support those angles. And then that's when you just let it cook, see what happens. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So when in doubt, play around setups. It doesn't have to be around your DPS either. It could be, Amanda, you really like an angle. Kiriko, could be Doom. Like there could be a rollout spot. Like I don't really know or care. It can be just general, honest Overwatch. Just play on neutral here. See what's available. Like, for example, here, this is like... It's at least you're trying to control some space. I think the key thing here is that you didn't have Doom back in time, which is the main problem. But we've already talked about this before. Why does Amanda die here? Besides the fact that, maybe he didn't quite get out fast enough, but why does Amanda die?
Not a good space for Lucio.
Not a good space for Lucio. Not a good space for Lucio, right? So it's not even necessarily your problem. Like, if you think about this in a ranked environment, Amanda, have you ever played here in ranked as Lucio? Like, this space here?
A bit, but not...
A bit. Not frequently, right? So sometimes you kind of have to evaluate your scrim habits and be like, does this make any sense? Would I ever do this if it wasn't for like the +1 mindset? And the answer is no. So at least not very often. And I'm not saying this is always bad, but you just have to read the room and be like, this is like, yeah, you ent, I guess, but like freaking funny Astro would have a hard time getting out of here this, right? So like, it's just not a good spot for you to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my days. I'm going to become a nun.
You should sign
2 out of how many?
So
2 out of how many?
Yeah. I've already sent them the heads up, but yeah, I mean, it's honestly not exactly. It's only been 2. It's not been too shabby, so it could be a lot worse. It's weird too, because like, I haven't done a lot of custom games, but they don't seem to be quite as bad as it used to be.
Scrim codes scrim codes are way worse, I find, than any other custom.
Yeah,
like the Face It qualifier scrim code, none of them had any issues. It's just scrim codes.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't
So
think
you should
it's
you should definitely like have Overwatch on Steam so you can just left click to reload.
Stefano had the same issue when he
That's
came to look at one of our games this morning.
Some developers need to be shot for not testing.
Whoa!
My calls for violence against my
computer science graduates.
Okay. Let's take a look here. Same kind of thing here. Like, this is really just the same thing where it's like...
Stream!
Stream is...
Oh, frick me, dude. Like, I'm...
This Chungus coach, honestly.
How many hours
Alright.
of coaching?
Same thing here where, like, I think having, like, familiarity with what you're running into, like, ult shock's really important here, but ult plan is not, because it's you can't plan around Freya or ult or pulse, so just be like, yo, I'm on the angle here, like, let's just hold this choke. Like, that alone is a fine call, to be honest with you guys. This is fine. I even like, Amanda, your choice here to kind of off angle here. You could stay here and still get value. Like, this is a really good spot for you. But if you're like, yo, Rhea's probably screaming for help. And, you know, this is really good space for Lucio. So, like, we can mark this. Like, it's really hard for them to force that advantage now. Kiriko, like, I look at this and I'm like, hey, not bad. This is all right.
Yeah.
This is kind of good. You did a really good job disengaging this situation. Now, we need to apply pressure, like, freaking now. Otherwise, icing is dead. But this is okay. There we go. Kill on the Lucio. The ult's good as well. No, it's fine. It's trust. It's fine. It forces the roll, puts him in a disengaged split. You just have to take what you can get. I mean, like, straight up. Don't tell me this ult's good again. If you can't land it.
I don't want to watch this.
Wait, I can't remember what happened, actually.
We get rolled.
I'm gonna pull up the VOD. I'm gonna listen to communication here because this is finally we actually have some tools to work with here, and we've probably just gotten a little sloppy with it. So where are we at here? So we're on
I remember this.
OT.
I think I'm saying something like, I'm gonna try cancel Queen Ult with punch if I don't beat.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
but that's not a solution, right? Like that's not a solution, right? Like that we still need to open with Kitsune. Like it's open with Kitsune. Like there is no other plan here. So listen. Okay, wait, hang on.
It'll be it can be Queen Ult if I don't get the cancel.
Queen Ult if I don't get the cancel. Okay.
Should still have what? Also have noon, also have beat.
Come to me, Amanda.
Also have noon, also have beat. Good ult track.
You can play inside there. You don't have to be showing.
You play for the cheese.
I was trying to play inside the doors last time.
Yeah, so we're really communicating like how to set up our Lucio on this flank. We're literally, I'm like looking at this and like, okay, hang on, you guys are gonna see this. I mean, you guys probably remember. I mean, I know Amanda remembers this, but she's like, no, I got this. I can make this work. Look at me. Look at this position I'm gonna play now. Wait. Solved. I mean, to be honest with you, Amanda, I'm making fun of you, but this is like, I mean, if you're gonna do it, this is you're gonna have to do it this way, right? So nice, good stuff, respect. All right, let me go back to the communication here.
If you see Lucio walk out, just kill her.
If you see Lucio walk out, just kill her.
They have beats.
They have beat.
I'm gonna need help on card.
I'm gonna need help on card.
I'll take card.
I'll take card. I almost have Kitsu. I'll use it on point versus queen. But see, like we're calling this like in context. We're calling like I have Kitsu. We can do that in cart. We're calling that like
way too late.
Like wait, we're actually calling it now. Way too late. Like this has to be like, hey, like let's take some damage with my Doom and like let's just play this really patiently and then mid fight Kitsune.
Yeah.
So like it ends up on paper this shouldn't like I will say like see even like how we're setting this up, like if we're expecting Queen ult and beat, to be honest with you, man, I don't think you can go here. I don't think you can be here. Yeah, I don't think you can. Like I think you have to help the fight in main and then assist from this angle here.
Great.
I just messed up here. I messed up.
Yeah, I mean it's just a total end, so it's fine. But like I guess my point being is that like yeah, I mean like the positioning is like not that great, but like overall like what was the plan here, you know? And like we're coming up with the plan. We're like thinking about like if they use this and like the Junker Queen, bro, Junker Queen it's not gonna freaking matter for like 25-30 seconds, right? Exactly. It's not the first step here. Let's focus on the first step first and then go from there. We got more time here. Let's look at least a brief look at another code here.
Can we look at the Bassam one or no? What do you think, guys?
No, rather the Dorado.
Dorado?
Yes. Yeah, but the Dorado code I brought, it was like us on Divey, them on round comp or something on Dorado. What's the issue?
Oh, when Ram got like 2,000 damage in like a minute.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, he was just punching into the little high ground.
Which one are we going for?
Which one?
Into the mega hallway.
Do you want to do it or no?
I don't mind. We can do it.
Okay, wait.
Is this like how your fight planning goes as well, or like?
Yeah, kind of. Yes.
Yeah.
PZEF 55.
5-5.
Yeah.
This is older, so yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be much worse.
Well.
This is the first game against the
it's these guys.
Yeah.
They went
these guys.
Winston in the end.
So we're not gonna be able to look at all of it. So just tell me a chunk that's prio.
What do you think about attack second, or because I feel like we're not very good at setting it up. Hello. Anyone here?
The whole thing was pretty fucking bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
attack and defense,
Come on, much of this game.
Yeah.
No, our attack was worse. Our defense we actually got our shit together by third
That's fine.
point.
That's fine.
Can we look at setup for like the initial pusher and then set up for second point attack?
We could just look at setups, yeah, if you guys want to.
Yeah.
To quickly close the door on the previous one, big three things. Number one, having an opener ult, even if it's not optimal. Remember, the opener ult's not supposed to win you the fight, it's supposed to create opportunities. Okay, and that goes for the easy ones. When you don't have an easy opener ult, think instead about setup. Speaking about setups, point number 2 is going to be don't force like the meta setup with your supports if the positioning doesn't feel good for Lucio, if the positioning doesn't feel good for Kiriko. Those are the crucial things.
I'll take some blame there because I have been told previously to ask said person to help me on the angles as Tracer, but I'll just ask for help and you guys decide.
Let it flow.
Yeah. Ask for help and let them make that decision. Yeah, I think that's a good way of doing things. Okay. So let's just grade initial setup here. I will say Brigitte versus this is gonna feel really freaking hard.
I swap.
What do you swap to? Kiri, you said?
Kiri, yeah.
Are you comfortable with Kiriko?
Yeah.
Okay, then Kiriko's fine here.
Okay.
Well, shut the fuck up, Eric.
What would you be doing if you were on Kiriko right now?
I've seen your Ash gameplay. I don't want to hear it.
What would you be doing if you were on Kiriko right now? Where would you be?
I would probably be on like left side trying to poke out something or helping.
Wrong.
No.
Correct, but wrong. Like right idea, but wrong. I want you and Loof to swap.
Oh yeah. Or yeah. If Loof wasn't there, that's what I would be on my side.
Yeah. But here's what I'm kind of teasing you about is like you're doing it because Loof goes top, but you can say no, Loof, I want that. Screw off. Like you have my permission to do that kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? Cause
it's just I feel like that communication should be outside of scrim, not always like mid.
But I guess my point being is here's clearly like a lifetime adjustment, and so it's okay to kind of like pull an audible here. So beyond that, I do think the setup is okay. Like it sucks to not have a support on cart, but I do think that this Brigitte needs to be here, right? Like I think that this is in theory like you need to find some sort of cohesive push here. The only mistake here is obviously like there needs to be a little bit more passivity from this here, and I do think there needs to be some sort of cohesive 3-2-1 push here. As painful as it is into Vortex, you have to do it. The nade sleep, I don't know, but there has to be something to clear this space. Because this, you will never get out of this choke.
10 years.
You'll never get out of this choke here. You'll never get out of this choke. And crucially, the worst part about this as well is now that you're taking an engagement, you don't even have anything to steal cart anymore. Like, this is just a net negative, period. And I can start to see where this guy's damage is going to accumulate from, because Vortex is just going to give him like a million. I mean, oh my days. Loof, I think this is just where like it's okay to if you don't have a solution to be a solution even if you die. I know there's Suzu on the field. Just walk in and anti, especially when you've seen Vortex. There will be windows of vulnerability.
But this did it.
That's fine.
But this isn't. Yeah.
That's fine. You could even look at this and be like, should Loof even be playing here and let the Brigitte push top by herself then maybe? Because maybe it's kind of a shame to be shoving a sniper into a small room. You know?
Yeah.
That's just maybe some setups. Space, so if we can't get the space, then you need to kind of lifetime adapt that. Let's keep going here. This is the Kiriko swap. So we have a moment here of setup. Diva Tracer, Soj here, Kiri here. It's the supports again, right? Like we could provide some sort of 3-2-1 push, but not with on a Kiriko stack. Yeah. I straight up would be flanking if I was Kiriko here, I think.
Yeah. But I do have less like scrim time.
Yeah,
Kiriko,
I understand that.
Like you can just yell at my positioning. It's fine.
I mean, there's no benefit to yelling it unless it's Loof, and just do it because it's fun, not because it's useful.
I heard the crash out. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have seen me crashing on an Airdo and Pugs on Saturday.
Oh, Jesus.
We went like 0-6 or something like that.
But,
we're used to it. Don't worry.
You're so horrible to my hit scan. Stop it. Be nice.
Okay, let's see here. Setup wise.
Oh yeah, this is.
This is good. This is okay. This is okay. This is okay. Like I don't like.
Terrible,
well, yeah, you're mispositioned here, frankly. But like this is like with how this fight's gonna evolve. But I like the solo angle here from Kiriko. Tracers on cart. We're kind of in the same spot. You guys notice that? Like we're trying to turn a corner.
Yeah,
Stop trying to turn a corner into a ramp.
Can I ask when I should go to the top right bit?
Like
on the other end?
Like here? Whenever you want.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I think it's a little like on paper maybe a little bit early right now, but it's still better than what you're doing right now. Like this is a door. Yeah. This door is locked. Stop trying to open the door. Break a window. You know what I'm saying? Break a window here. Break a window here. Break a window. Take the 2v2 with Genji here. Sure, it's sketch, but it's better than trying to break down a Ramatra point blank. You know what I'm saying? So you guys are kind of in basically the same situation as first point, but ironically you have even more solutions, and yet you guys are still you guys look flustered about it, right? So be patient. This is better. I think you guys realize it. I criticize and then you guys fix the problem. Love it. Lifetime coaching. I say that and then you guys troll it. Stop trying to force top right. Stop it. Until you see this ram drop, until ram drops, this is inaccessible high ground. That's just how it goes. And that's not Ramatra, that's any situation. That honestly, sometimes even, not always, but sometimes even in dive mirrors, this is inaccessible high ground, at least early on, right? Stop trying to force it.
Corner, yeah.
Like a monkey holding it, yeah.
Yeah. Monkey holding a corner, nano primal disadvantage, stuff like that. Like, stop trying to force it. Just pull them apart. Pull them apart at the seams. Bait the attention elsewhere. Sell the DPS. Let Eridu go in an angle. Supported. They nano primal. Leave them. Let them die. get a trade elsewhere, push the cart, you know, like just fight dirty. And right now what this is doing is like, this is the worst of both worlds, where not only are you brute forcing it, but because you're not contesting this space here, you're also getting pincered. And this is how people die. You see it right there, right? The good news is that we're pushing cart. Like, that's the only good thing about what's happening right now. But don't, like, the rule with Overwatch, period, is fight where you are strong. Don't fight where you are weak. As simple as that. You are not strong here. Stop trying to fight there. You're strong here. You're strong here. You're strong way deep on high ground. So fight there. Fight. Make them fight you on your terms. We'll give you guys... Okay, my days. I'm going to commit a war crime. We'll do it one more time, and then... We'll maybe look at maybe some third point as well, because it's going to be a similar concept, right? They're going to brute force top, really never let you guys do anything, and you're going to have to figure out a way to kind of pull them apart from there.
I can't remember how we broke that. Because we did push, right?
Well, I mean, cart's moving. That's the only good thing that you guys have been doing, but you have been moving
Right.
cart, right? Like, you've remembered to move cart, and so, like, you've been losing fights, but the cart's still halfway, so,
Yeah.
you know, we'll
That's
take the
thing
small
about Dorado
victories.
second, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
I think
escort,
also, like,
period.
In
Oh,
this
yeah,
scrum,
yeah,
well,
true, I remember.
there were more. We had more moments that scrum where we won mechanically compared to the
That is-
Kosia one.
I
Mhm.
think so, yeah. Even though these guys are way higher rank.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if it
yeah,
works,
yeah.
it works.
Speak for
These are
yourself.
expert team, I think.
Yeah,
Speak for yourself.
yeah. Actually.
Wait, what did you say?
Never mind.
Aren't they all like higher GM or no?
No.
No.
Oh, they're not. Oh, my bad. Okay.
No. What?
Higher GM.
Cassie swap concerns me.
Why
It
did I do that? I can't remember.
it says I'm going to brute force top, is what it says.
Oh, probably.
That's what it
yeah,
says.
that's probably what I was thinking. Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
terrible since the fall off change. Like, in theory, you can still solo
Yeah, yeah.
angle, no problem. But like, unironically, I actually think I preferred the
Oh.
that was a nice sleep there. I unironically think
Thank
I
you.
preferred the Widowmaker than I did the Cassidy here. So yeah, exactly. This is
Yeah, yeah.
this
I like
this
taking
was
video on top right.
this is mechanic. I mean, even just like being here, you know, or
And
swinging,
jumping, yeah,
like
yeah,
you live
yeah.
here, and you
yeah.
have any support. Like, Kiriko,
Yeah.
just in general area,
Mhm.
is so hard, even with Genji Lucio, to be able to clear you out.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is exactly what we
I
said.
agree.
It's mechanics. It's mechanics, and so it actually started to kind of feel like we were kind of starting to push the angle with Kiri Tracer at the end there. But ironically, it coincided with you just winning 2 duels. Like, hit a crazy sleep, hit a couple of crazy shots. GG's. Yeah, and then once, I mean, this is just escort classic. When you get space, it's rough. It's rough. The game tries to balance it by making you force card or be able to leverage card, but like it's still like when you have defender's advantage on attack, it's like you just win. So let's go to third point and see what you guys do. Yeah, there's a reason people don't play Ram here, right? Stop trying to beat your head against a broken door. You know, it's locked. It's going to stay locked. Like, you can start here, but if he comes here with Vortex, you will leave. You will need to leave. There it is. Disengage. Sure. Now, if they overextend here, you can still win this. Lou, if you need to be ready to disengage a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see that, like, okay, we lost this fight, but we didn't have speed, and they did have to use Kitsune Blade. Not the end of the world. That's like, I'm not happy with that result, but I'm not unhappy either, right?
Mm-hmm.
This retake is going to be the crucial one, though, because it's like, okay, yeah, we have ult advantage, but we still don't have really any reason to force an ultimate into them, especially with D.Va. Maybe if we had Winston, we could kind of just walk into them, but we don't. So this is where we're going to need to pull things apart. We get our Tracer through. We push out to the right. We get a bit of a split. We open an angle. Like, this is not very well done, and it honestly feels like a little bit of like whack-a-mole, like where you guys are, with every intention, wanted to walk out of this joke. And then you're like, oh, wait, something's over here. And then you accidentally start to set up a better off angle. But this is like, if on paper, if I could freeze frame this looks a lot better, including the off angle nade from Loof, getting Rhea in, Kiriko kind of off angling and pocketing the Tracer. The Ramattra has to decide where to go. You pop a Kitsune while up one, but this guarantees you getting out of the choke and getting out of the choke safely, and also allows you to pursue some staggers, which is really, really, really valuable. So then set up once again. You have time here. Probably should get Eridu on top. That was your opportunity. The opportunity is wasted, and then they use the high ground.
Okay.
You need to go back.
I
You need to go back.
I thought it would take too long, but yeah.
You had to go. You had
If
to
I
go
do it
quickly.
faster, it's fine. Yeah.
Right, yeah. And then ultimately, like, this is just, like, if they're going to clutch it, it's going to be from here. Probably doesn't matter because the ult bank is, like, so significant. But, yeah, you guys are fine. So just biggest setup problem here, and this is great because it's not just a Ramattra exclusive thing. It's just generally fight where you are strong. It's the same problem with forcing the Lucio Tracer on the Coliseo hard flank, right? Fight where you are strong. Don't fight in spaces that you're uncomfortable. Don't force basic principles about like, just be like, okay, our comp has mobility, our comp has a sightline here, our comp has like flanking potential. So where on the map can you leverage that? And if you can do that,
more confident to say where we like to play ourselves personally.
Yes. And be way more flexible with your rotations. Don't try to like, I think this is like something that, kind of speaking in a bigger picture here, but like this was like why London at times like started to get more and more bad at dive. Is it felt like the more time that they spent solving a lot of like rhyme comps and symmetric comps and May comps and so on, the more that you kind of have to follow like a flow chart of Overwatch. But I don't think Overwatch should be executed like that. It's more about just like playing to your hero's strengths and then finding some sort of synchronicity through that. And I think like once you start like, okay, we always rotate top right. Well, why? Should you? What about you try something different? Just play to your hero's strengths. I think it's kind of unrelated to London's dive strength, but maybe that's a topic for another conversation. But yeah. Okay. Any questions, y'all?
Just a quick one about, you were talking about layering the fight plan.
Yeah.
Do you think that's something to put focus on now, or should that be step 2 after we've got the initial thing in place?
Yeah, I would say I would not purposely try to not do it. So if you guys are consistently doing a good job with the initial opener, and then you guys are like, well, might as well call what's next. Like, sure, then yeah, go for it, layering. But don't ever put like such a priority in layering that it feels like a chore to fight plan.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Anything else? Good question.
Not that I can think of, no.